orang Malaysia Rumpu kat luar tu dengar tak? Daripada
Tak dalam
nak tanya satu, ada question and answer lepas ni, tak ada kan?
ada.
Ada, Prof.
Ada. The super apa ni dalam perintis
Graduate on time is pretty mouthful to say, so got is very convenient on time. So today I will spend a bit of time with you guys, and I'll go slow on it so that we can share together what is it that we talk.
Wahlul Undata Milisan Yafkau Kaudi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all who are present today, and thank you to our guest speaker, Prof. Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Zakaria, who is with us today to actually elaborate and also share tips and tricks on how to graduate on time. And I was joking with some of my colleagues that maybe this is also very relevant to supervisors themselves, and not just the student. Now, for the next 1.5 hours, we're going to listen to Prof. Dr. Muhammad Fauzi on how do we want actually to graduate on time, how to go about doing it. But before that, let me give you a brief introduction to our honorable speaker today. So Prof. Fauzi Zakaria has retired from University Malaya, specifically from the Institute of Ocean in Earth Sciences in 2017. But as a true educator, he has kept busy and kept in the academic world as a fellow of the Malaysian Academy of Professors, and then also a Malaysia visiting fellow and scientist at Qatar University, visiting scientist, State Key Laboratory of Organic Geochemistry, SCALOP, a visiting professor at University of Malaya, at the same institute where he served for many years, and then associate member with the Institute of Ocean Earth Sciences, associate fellow Institute of Oceanography and Environment with UMP as well. And then he's also the founding director of Environmental Forensic Research Center and FORCE UPM. So he's he's a well-known, well-recognized colleague in the academic world. Now, he resides in Kajang, Selangor, actually, and then has graduated from the list of his CV, has graduated too many students to count, and that should allow him to share a lot of tips and tricks to I've activated my CV. A postgraduate student and supervisor for how to start their research. So without any delay, I would like to invite our honorable speaker, Prof. Fauzi, to deliver his sharing. Welcome, Prof, and the stage to you.
Thank you, Dr. Lily, for your nice introduction. Can you hear my voice right? I will not
Yes.
speak too loud or too soft, but I'll be very slow because 1.5 hours is given to me. I try to talk within the specified times and give ample time for you guys out there to ask several questions on this how to graduate on time. It's called GOT. I will use GOT instead of how to graduate on time because how to graduate on time is pretty mouthful to say. So GOT got it is very convenient because this is
Yes.
very popular topic among students because they have a lot of responsibilities. Some of them, when doing PhD or master, they are further studying. Some teachers want to go back to their work after studying, and they don't want to spend much time in the graduate school. So, and then this graduation on time is no easy task if you are a graduate student. And there are tips that I can show you because I myself was also a supervisor and still is some supervisors to PhD students. So therefore, I have stress on this graduation on time to my own students, and as well as to I was also deputy dean one time, graduate in UPM. Therefore, I know how difficult it is for some supervisors to ask their students to graduate on time. So today I will spend a bit of time with you guys, and I'll go slow on it so that we can share together what is it that we talk about how to graduate on time. Okay, can we see the second slide, please? Okay, I will try to talk within this outline. How do we define GOT or graduation on time? And maybe I will say choosing a topic for masters and PhD play a very big role and big factor in towards the graduation on time. And then how to read, what to read, and where are you going to read, and this I will explain a bit. And then you have to have a lot of self motivation. No one else is going to help you but yourself in achieving the time to graduate. Because sometimes it will take forever to graduate, and there are many factors that cause this. I don't want to blame all to supervisors and to our students, but it is the all things considered must be the factor in getting to graduate within the specified time. How are you going to what are the tips when you attend a conferences? Because when you are a graduate student, you want to display your result, you want to express your result, you want to share your result with your colleague, your own students, and also some professors, some researchers out there. Then what are the tips that are useful for you as a factor to graduate on time? And then maybe if I can also talk about how to write a journal paper, how to choose, and this is within a talk by itself. But I will just briefly tell you that being a graduate student now, many universities require students to write and to publish so that you graduate. Then this will become a stumbling block for many students because writing is not that easy to do, and let alone the peer-reviewed journals. It's not easy. So I'll give you some tips about it. And then how do you relate to your supervisor? Yeah, how do you relate? Is it too close, too far distance? When are you going to keep him busy, and so on? So these are the few topics I will cover throughout my talk today. Next. Okay. working definition of GOT for most people, most universities in Malaysia, and also would be relevant to many institutions around the world, not more than 3.5 years if you are full-time student. Yeah? For the PhD, not more than 3.5 years if you are full-time. That is the time frame you are talking about in a general definition of things. And then if you are a part-time student, and I believe there are many out there, you just get half the scholarship or fund to study, then you do a long distance study. Then if you do this system, then you will have to graduate within 6 years, say. Beyond 6 years means that you will not be included in the GOT system. Okay. How about master degree? Somehow the lettering is now blocked. Can you sort of like, okay, just a minute. I have to read my own slide first. Where is my own slide?
To viewers, if
Yeah.
you have question, you can post your question as we go online. We go on with the the talk.
Yes. So a master degree, not more than 3 years, full time. And then I cannot read even my own slide now because of the print is advertisement there. Can we somehow? Okay, not more than 3 years part time. Okay, so these are the working definition that most of us, most of the universities, most of the supervisors would want to would want to play around with the students if they are studying with them. So, so anything more than this, that means the university or people will recognize you as a graduation on time. Okay, next. Okay, most postgraduate students thinking they will graduate on time, because the moment you register, you feel like, oh, I can do it, but unfortunately, it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, on average, full-time students take 5 to 8 years to earn a PhD, and 4 to 6 years a master's degree. So, so there are very few, actually, very few students who actually GOT graduate on time due to many reasons, many factors. And I will explain all these factors so that you can eliminate or you can avoid these factors, and then you can be classified as GOT students. Next. Okay, here is the global data, survey data that I got from my research to get this table. And it is very interesting to see that graduation rates for master's and doctoral students throughout the world, including Malaysia, 2012, number of graduate the survey is 24 and master's 80. Only 16% got the categorized as a graduation on time. And master's only. And again, as years go by, it fluctuates. 2013, we have only 9% graduation on time for the PhD, and for the 22% is for master's degree. So you can see, in 2016, it become worse, only 8% graduation on time. And then for the master's degree, they are easier because less of the experiment and less years to cover. Therefore, the percentage is higher. But for the 201 number of graduates, including masters and PhD, the bottom row there is only 50%. Yeah, students throughout the world graduate on time. And this is a very poor percentage. Why they couldn't achieve first day, the second day, the first week they register as a graduate student. They were very happy. They were elated. There were many. They get a lot of motivation to graduate on time, so that their family is happy. If they have kids, their kids are happy, and so on. But then the fact is that it happens. Most of the global university that they are not actually part of the graduation on time. This is a very good, very interesting data. Next. Okay. First, you have to shop around for the supervisory committee. Yeah, shop around. How do you shop around? Just like you go to the supermarket, you pick the thing, you read the ingredients before you decide what to buy. Graduate school is the same. You go and talk to the fellow students, with senior, to people who can actually trust. How's that supervisor? Is that a killer supervisor? I mean, do they retain students for a long time? This is actually my experience over the years. And when I went to graduate school in the US and also in Japan, I shop around with fellow students, with fellow colleagues. Don't go near to that supervisor. They are not. I'm not bashing my own colleagues here, but as a student, you have the right. You go and talk, and after you meet your possible supervisor, then maybe discuss with your supervisory committee, because supervisory committee is very important. If you get sleeping partner of the supervisor, sleeping partner means they don't do anything, then you will suffer your graduate school. You will suffer. You don't have any help. So you have to, there are three things here, the planning beforehand you go to graduate school, to clearly set out a structure of the entire work. Yeah, you discuss first year, second year, third year, what you're going to do. It's on your mind already. You have to do some earlier planning work with yourself. But of course, the supervisor will change this, but at least you have negotiations. You have to negotiate. Because when I was a PhD student in Japan, I clearly set my goal. Say to my supervisor, I have to graduate in 3 years. I have to graduate within 3 years, and he said to me, "It's crazy. University of Tokyo never graduate student within 3 years." Yeah. So therefore, I have to work very hard. He said to me, "If you do that, it's entirely on your own. I'm here to serve you." So, and then if your university, your institution that you go, focus on the way you write the thesis as a chapter by chapter, many now follow this format. You write paper, first chapter, second paper, second chapter, third paper, and so on and so forth. Okay. Some very classic university, they don't follow paper style, but many they follow European style, and also American style and Japanese style, where you write a paper first year, a review paper, and then you go for the first paper. Then you already set for the first or second chapter. First chapter is just nothing, it's just literature review. Second chapter is methodology, maybe if you are a science student. Then third chapter will become your first paper, yeah, and so on. So at least I have this experience. I have 5 chapters in my thesis, and I have 5 papers. My first as a first author. So it's very easy, because when you write a paper, it's already being reviewed by many top reviewers around the world. So when you write a thesis, you feel confident. The second chapter, or whatever the first paper be, first or second chapter, you'll be very confident because it's all been reviewed. You just maybe modify a bit to become like a thesis format. So this style is very convenient, but you have to work extra hard to focus on each chapter. Each chapter could be your objectives, yeah? One objective, 2 objective, 3 objective. Don't take too many objectives, because you can never graduate on time. Yeah, you slash the number of objectives, But if you have 3 objectives, you can spread it out into 3 papers. Yeah, it doesn't mean that if you have 5 papers, you can get five chapters. It doesn't mean that like that. It could be more. Okay, and then again, to set a specific time frame for each chapter, you must be very what we call very focused on this. When you go chapter by chapter and paper by paper, you feel like, oh, job done already for the first chapter. Yeah, when you are studying, oh, done, and then focus on second chapter. That is your second or third paper. So therefore, this style can accumulate confidence in your study. Yeah. Whereas the classic style, you never know when you write the thesis, then you have problem. You don't know your problem previously. Yeah. So as a fact, I know many universities follow this format. If it happens to be this way, then I advise you to clearly discuss with your supervisory committee and your supervisor that I'm going to write 3 papers minimum for PhD, masters maybe 2 or 1, and then you, based on this paper work that you have already published, to write your thesis. Then your job is much easier this way. But I cannot tell you which format is it. Depend on the university. I'm not forcing anybody, but at least more universities are adopting this style of thesis. Next paper, next slide, please, Natalie. Okay, here. So many people ask how many pages are thesis. Yeah. So I have this very busy slide, but I can guide you how to read it. Normally, the harder the discipline of knowledge, the less number of pages. Yeah. I don't say the what we call it, science or whatever, psychology, political science. They tend to have very thick pages, number of pages, because they have so many explanations. Maybe they go by survey and their instrument to explain how take one chapter. Yeah, and normally maybe correct me if I'm wrong, like geography, mass communication, they don't go by paper style. Yeah, they don't go by paper style. When you look at this figure, this table, then you will see that as you go down, then the number of pages is less, because it's based on experiment, real empirical data. Therefore, the number of pages is self-explanatory. Yeah. You just dwell on the results of your experiment. Therefore, naturally, the number of pages become less and less. For example, biostatistics, less than 100 pages actually, the thesis, and mathematics as well. Because mathematics is full of formulas. What can you say more? Yeah. And then, of course, like electrical and engineering field also less. But if you go up, then becoming more and more pages. So this is general guideline for you to plan your thesis in order to graduate on time. So don't go exceeding 400, 500 pages. Then you have more mistakes, you have more problem, you have big problem for even your supervisor to read. Your supervisor is very busy very busy person, and then he has in front of him 400 pages of things. And then the supervisor also have many students. So if they have like 16 students, like myself, one time I have 16 PhD students. So where in the world can I find time? I have to manage my own time to read. So you give me piecemeal 400 pages, please read. Yeah. So please follow this guideline. It may not be applied to you, but in general, it's very useful kind of like guideline if you are asking yourself how many pages my thesis is. But this will happen long after you dwell into your graduate school. Maybe after second year or third year, you begin to see that this diagram is very useful for you. Okay, next. After you got a topic of your research, what is next? Yeah. Sometimes the topic is given by your supervisor, sometimes of your own, or sometimes combined together. You know, because when you come to further study, sometimes the topic is relevant to the kind of work you are doing right now. You know, like if you're a government staff, you're a research institute, they send you to go and they do the studies because the knowledge they want to get of you to spread around your work environment. So there's nothing much you can do except that you say, okay, I'm interested in this, and most likely supervisors will agree with you. You know, and then this is a danger point when your supervisor who are not very knowledgeable or expert in that topic, and if he or she supervise, then maybe you have problem. Yeah, maybe I can see some problem. You want to graduate on time because the supervisor himself have to learn new things and have to depend on his co-supervisory committee in order to guide you through that graduate school. So be careful. You choose a topic must be in sync with your supervisory research, funding, and also knowledge. Yeah. Uh, what I mean is that supervisor has to have a body of knowledge in order for him or her to supervise you. A body of knowledge related to the topic of your work. I think you have to really understand your supervisor's research. You read his papers, you read his publication. So therefore, it strikes you 2 to 3 papers. Oh, this is the thing that I want to do. And then when you read the supervisory paper, the supervisor paper, you read, and then you at the end of his publication, there are something that is not finished. The business is unfinished. So therefore, you take over. Yeah. In the paper, sometimes they say, future work. So you see what future work is you talk to your supervisor. It says that, okay, I want to do where I can do this future work of yours in your paper so that I can increase the knowledge. Therefore, and now it becomes synergy with your supervisor. It becomes part of your supervisor's practice. So this is very important in dealing with a topic or area of research. Don't take a very foreign topic, which is foreign to you as well as foreign to your supervisor. Alien to anybody. Then you will have a lot of problems. So therefore, after you get a very good topic that you can work with your frame of time you can do, and all the instruments in the lab are available. Don't go to some experiment. Supervisor says, I'm sorry, you have to go to get your experiment done. Then you will have problem. Is there any problem, Dr. Lily?
Tak ada, Prof. Minta maaf.
Okay. So then you have to tackle this within 1 or 2 months of your registration. Then you are on the way to go to graduation on time. Yeah, you are on your way already. If you still unresolved about the topic, you keep changing the topic. And only when the topic is done, you have to do a presentation among normally in many universities they call it your proposal. Then you go and do a presentation among the supervisory and also your fellow graduate students. So they will ask you many questions. The audience will ask so many questions to give you input. Use them. Whether it's realistic or not, what you want to study, how your statistical analysis, how's your many things going on. So therefore, this accumulation of input from various colleagues and various people, so many brains attacking your proposal, it means that whether by that time you should change your topic or not. Yeah. So this is critical in dealing with graduation on time. Choose a topic that are friendly enough to your supervisor, friendly enough to the faculty even. Friendly enough to faculty means whether the faculty has, your department has the equipment that you are going to work for the next couple of years. Okay, so some of the tips in the beginning of your research. You resolve this in the beginning of your graduate studies, like 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, you resolve this issue, then you go on with the next step. And then you begin to read and do a summary. Read what? Read journal, read books, related to your topic. And then in the meantime, you also interact with others. Make good interaction and ask them what is your topic, how do you deal with your supervisor. There are things that are not written in the textbook. You can only get through your interaction with a fellow graduate student, even fellow graduate student from other faculties, or even from other universities, or from overseas, because now it's online, So and then they will give you, honestly, they will give you some. Don't take it, piecemeal. Take whatever relevant. Because sometimes they also want to shoot down. Some people just they just give you negative comments. So you know how to deal with this input by yourself. Next. Okay. Then after you topic, after you decided what you want to do, then you will go to the library and skim over a journal and decide if you should invest the next few days reading in depth. So this is called information mining. You mine the whatever knowledge regarding your topic, your interest. Now you can. Most libraries has database that you can even clock in from your home. Like Science Direct or web or whatever things. But library, don't stay away from library. Library is very important. You feel like the atmosphere is for you. The atmosphere is very quiet and full of books, and the environment is correct. Then you feel confident. So therefore you can stay in library and to find some journals that are truly useful. And if you pick like 20 journals and then 2 or 3 journals that you really like, and keep it and try to write something out of that, fashion in the knowledge into your topic. Okay, next. Okay, we are on half an hour, 10 slides. We have 40 slides altogether. I have to be very careful on the time here. After reading, you should easily find what is novelty of the research presented. So not just reading, but you are critical in what you read. Yeah, very critical in what you read. And novelty means what is the strength? What is the thing that you can also repeat, and what you can also find in your in that paper to be translated into your work. Then how does it compare to what you are doing? Okay, you have to compare, you have to critique, but don't plagiarize. Plagiarizing is very severe in PhD and master's work. Means that you get the knowledge, you get the experimental design, you get what there, and then modify a bit to do whatever what you are doing in terms of your methodology. Next. Okay, writing, because I remember as in the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned to you that if you are following a format of paper, after the few months, you are beginning to form a substance in your reading into first paper, into the first paper, into the first write-up, into the first manuscript, draft manuscript that you want to now submit to your supervisor, and supervisor you will read, and co-supervisor also read, and together you and the supervisory committee and of course your supervisor decide which journal you want to send. So in writing, you need to get to the point, because this is your part of your thesis now. This is part of your thesis now. Don't forget that it's not just, like people invite you to write a paper, then you agree. Don't stray away from your goal. Yeah. Oh, they say, okay, because now if I write the first paper, then I can, it can be used as my first paper to graduate. No, it doesn't work that way, because some other people, they also want to write papers. Some other faculty members, some other students, they also want to get paper like crazy. So they invite you as a co-author, but the paper, the topic is nothing to do with you. So, and then sometimes you have to spend some of your energy to see, or to, if you are good in English, then they might be using you. They might be using you to read the manuscript, and then now what happened? You are now busy in your first chapter, and yet now there are side activities that you want to do because you think that, oh, first paper, I got the first paper, co-author, therefore it will be very useful. I can utilize this as part of my PhD. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, you have to be very careful. If people invite you to be as a co-author and spend much of your energy, then you cannot graduate on time, because sooner or later you find out that the paper is useless for your study. Okay, you need to be comprehensive and concise at the same time. So comprehensive because you have been reading. By now you have been reading. You have to done the literature review already, and at the same time, maybe some your supervisor also give you good papers to read. Books to read, and then now you become quite professional in your dealing of your first paper that I say, and if you have handicap in your English, then you have to find someone who can proofread your manuscript, And then a lot of students, they go to Google Translate, and then try to get 100% from Google Translate. That it doesn't work that way, because Google Translate is not English. They translate whatever they feel from the library that Google has, and sometimes full of inconsistencies and full of grammatical mistake also. So don't do that. You have to be professional from the beginning. So if you have research, if your supervisor have research grant, ask your supervisor to pay for the proofread. Because this is carry his name as well, because you are not the corresponding author. The first paper, you are just a first author, and you are co-author with your supervisor, because research funding that supervisor gave you is depend on his research team. Okay. You can be first author, but you cannot be corresponding author. This is if you are corresponding author, you are unethical. And also for supervisor, please understand, don't put your name as a first author, because this is your student's work. Yeah, you can be second or third or even fourth, but you are corresponding author. Internationally, people recognize you. This is your team, your research team. They give you credit for it. And why the first your student become first author? Because he need to be known as well when in her or his career when he finish your study. So don't be greedy as a supervisor. You always want your student to be because his or her entire work. Yeah, you just supervise, you just manage them, So, but you can be a corresponding author, can be placed the third, fourth, or in the ranking of the authors. Yes. So this is the international universal practice that a long time ago, a decade ago, many of the Malaysian university professors, they like their name first, and this is going negative way in the international standard. So, and I just remind again, as a student, you have the right to put your name first so that you can you can you can upgrade your career later on. Next. Okay, interaction with others, like I said earlier, although some researchers would love to work in a cave away from the rest of the community, you should interact with other peers. You know, some people like to sit in the room that provided by the supervisor and don't interact with anybody. Say, I'm busy, I am very focused in my study. So this is not the way. You have to interact with others that bring you possible new ideas or comments. You know? You can never know if you work alone that you are doing the right direction or not. If you are going in the right direction or in the wrong way, yeah, because it doesn't mean that when you talk to them about your topic, they will steal your topic. No, they just some friends are honest and they say, oh, okay, this is your work. It look like dangerously away from your goal, so they will give you good advice. But if working environment are crucial in graduation on time. So for support, you get support from your friends, support your supervisor, support from your family, and if things outside the circle of your study not going right, you will grumble, you will have stress, you will have a lot of issues unresolved. So make sure that everything around you is doing okay. Yeah. Explain to your family, I'm now studying, not working anymore. Please give me time. But don't just like 3 years of study, you don't focus anything else but your study. And that's also becoming a stressful situation for your people who support you. Yeah. So don't work in silo. You are a student, you are a graduate student and need a lot of, equilibrium with the society. Yeah. Don't isolate yourself that you don't know what's going on outside world. You cannot be that way. You are still human, but only that you negotiate with your husband or your wife if you are already a family, and say that you should understand the predicament that you are now dealing with. Yeah, because PhD and master study, you need a lot of effort and a lot of systems go. All systems go, then it will be okay. If not, then it doesn't work, and then you will suffer in terms of your graduation will be 7 or 8 years or even 10 years. I've seen people who graduated in 12 years. Why? Because of the situation that I explained to you. They are not either they are isolate themselves, they don't go to see the supervisor, many factors. Okay, next. We have 14 slide. Treat your PhD work as though it's a highly paid job in which you are expected to work long hours all the time. If you don't treat it's like a job, now you go to like 9 to 5 every day. Yeah. Because some of my students, I say force, but I advise them constantly. If you don't have anything to do, come to the university and come to the office you're provided, and sit down and read and talk to things. If you stray away from this path, you will never graduate. You do some other things, and supervisor is hard to find you and have to call you, where are you? And this is not going to work. Tell you, guaranteed it doesn't work. So you go and at least it's like you are working. Yeah. Then the accumulation of time you spend and knowledge and ideas that you gain, you write something on your notepad, then your PhD is coming sooner or later. Next. Okay, then come the time management. Yeah, time management is crucial in graduation on time. How you divide your time? How do you go eating out? If your friend asks you to eat in the weekend, okay. In the weekdays, you say, hey, I've got work to do. It's nice meeting you, and I'll see you later. You have to be strong. to say this. Yeah? And then when are you going to do your laundry? When you entertain yourself? When are you writing? When you go to groceries? When you're cooking? You eating? Car wash and bathing your babies and make phone calls, emails, exercise, and then watching TV. All these altogether, we call it time management. Yeah. If you don't know how to manage this properly, you will never graduate on time. Yeah. Things that you can do today, don't put off until tomorrow. Yeah. Procrastination is no, and we know time and tide wait for no man. We know. So therefore, in the Quran also, wal asri innal insana lafi khusr, the importance of time. Yeah. Time management, I think most I have sad to say, very poor among the graduate students that I have seen. Yeah. Because bad habit die hard. Like I open the lab at 8, they come at 10. The 2 hours already wasted. Yeah? So when your supervisor asks you, say, okay, come early at 8, at least you are earlier than supervisor. Don't be too late. And work for 1 hour. Oh, I have job to do. Then go out. And then you have no seen. You can never see for the next week again. So forget about it. Yeah. So you have to work extra hard and manage your time very well. Then you will, of course, to get graduation on time. Next. This is called 80-20 law. I like this law. 80-20 law. Focus your efforts in that 20% of tasks that bring 80% of benefit. Okay, like writing papers. Remove the 80% of the tasks, only contribute to 20% of the results. Like revising constantly your time management system. So remember this 80-20 law. I always use this law to myself, and I found it very useful. I can manage my goal, finish my goal, although it's not completely, but at least remind myself, like tasks that bring 80% benefit. Yeah, you do tasks, but you are so beneficial, and then you can also remove the 80% tasks that only contribute 20%. You may be studying very hard, but actually you are not studying the right thing. Yeah. So this is we call 80-20 law. Try to apply it to your everyday life, and you work wonders for you. And of course, when you are talking about this topic, graduation time, this 80-20 law is very, very important to apply to your everyday life. Next. Reach for the goals that you set. Yeah, you set the goal, work your plan your work. Yeah. Plan your work your plan. Yeah. So these are the goals that motivate you and that are worth working hard and walking the extra mile. When you have to prepare a poster for original meeting, like your supervisor asks you to go for the research exhibition, ITEX or whatever, do it constantly, and then show him your good work. Show your supervisor good. This is the thing that I have worked for so far, and enjoy the relationship with your supervisor in terms of academic relationship, knowledge relationship. What you discover today may be something new to your supervisor, and that makes your supervisor, they call it, give him a day. Yeah, that makes my day. Yeah, makes his day. So sharing is very, very important in graduate school, because there are something that your supervisor even didn't discover before, and then now you become a source of discovery of new knowledge, new format, new ideas. All this, are very enjoyable, when you do the graduation. If you are not enjoying graduate school, forget about graduation on time. You have to satisfy, you have to be happy. You have to be, happy what you are doing. You don't do it because you force yourself. Yeah? You be passionate of your work. Next. Don't just work hard, work smart. Yeah. You want to be effective, not just efficient. Being efficient at something unimportant is useless. Being effective at finishing important things make a big difference. So remember this. Yeah. You can be working very hard, because I saw some student working very, very hard, but he can never graduate because something that he do is not the right thing. Yeah, he or she. So you have to stop doing it and ask yourself again and again and evaluate yourself. Hey, am I doing the right thing? You know, how do you know whether I'm doing the right thing or not? You ask people around. You ask your supervisor. You go to the books, guidebooks, or how to be a PhD student. There are many out there at your fingertips. So just use them. Yeah. Next. What is the price you must pay for success? You can accomplish anything if you are willing to pay the price. You know. So this is the thing that always remind ourselves. Uh, are you willing to pay the price? You are willing already. That's why you go to graduate school. You are leaving your family behind. You high salary sometime, because PhD and masters are going to give you more benefit later in your career. So you are willing to pay the price of success. Okay, next. Okay, this is a bit long, but I will pick it up. PhD life is all about self-motivation. Those people who lack sufficient self-motivation will not be able to establish good work routine. Good work routine means 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5. Divide between experiment, divide between all this time management thing. Also find themselves sleeping until noon, miserable. If you are not good work routine, means you miserable, you feel depressed, devoid of social skills. You feel sorry to yourself. You feel sorry. Once you feel sorry to yourself, then good work routine will fail. Yeah. Then you try to focus on something else which is not important in your study. Go back and you watch television, you watch football, whatever, and then you try to forget things for a while, but then it doesn't work. Yeah? Set strict working hours and study activities. Yeah, and if you don't complete them in time allotted, then do as you would a good employee, work overtime. Huh? You are not superhuman, you are not Superman. You do something that is 30% today, then you continue another 20% more, and then 2 or 3 days you complete, then you feel good about yourself. This is the way in your PhD work. Next. Okay, so obstacles along the way. Always, as a postgraduate student, you will face obstacles. Sometimes some people will throw stone in your journey. Many. It happens. It depends on you how you make with them. You make wall or you make bridge. Yeah. So it all depends on you. If you make wall, so you will be working in silo. But if you make bridge, then you connect with people. Remember, you are the architects, and don't make wall, make bridges with people. Okay, next. Don't waste your first year. Sometimes they call it honeymoon year. Yeah, honeymoon year. First year, I go enjoy myself. Nothing. Yeah? Because it's a long way to go anyway. In the next 3.5 years, I will graduate. So first year, nothing. Some friends ask you, okay, what's your progress? Well, this first year, what progress? What do you mean progress? The first year, normally proposal, then I did my proposal, then everyone is happy, then I can enjoy myself. No. This is called false sense of security. Yeah? False sense of security. Time has a habit of disappearing very, very fast. Yeah. Once it's gone, you cannot get it back. Yeah. Start out as you mean to go on. Establish a strict work and study routine and stick to it. You are not an undergrad anymore. You undergrad is okay, spoon feeding. Yeah? You are undergraduate level, everything is, you are being spoon fed by your supervisor, by the faculty, by many things. But then now you are in your driver's seat. You are the driver of the car now as a graduate student. Yeah, don't depend on So imagine you can get others to do your work when it should be your own individual. Sometimes you just to depend. Oh, can you do to me, your colleague? Can you write this paragraph for me? No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, don't negotiate with people. You are the driver now. That's becoming your destination next. So we are halfway through. We have another half an hour. I have to be very careful here. Um, so tenacity, yeah, tenacity. You work. It happens usually halfway of the master's PhD duration. You feel that you have enough progress. You feel not so confident to yourself. Yeah, you feel like, oh, what I'm done is just a waste of time. So you will be lost in the middle of an ocean of uncertainty. Yeah? You will still have and in front of you a couple of painful years to endure. So don't be like this cartoon here. He is so near to the diamond, see? Huh? Then just a few inches away, he turned back. Yeah. So this cartoon is very well known in doing your motivation of your work. You work so hard so far, 2 to 3 years, 2 years, and don't give up. Yeah. So and the light at the end of the tunnel is so near. It's so near already. So don't give up. You have to endure a lot of pains. So why now that you have to quit? Don't quit. Don't be a quitter. Be tenacious, and you show your tenacity in your study. Then people can see that, oh, you are a fighter. Okay, next. Take every opportunity to practice and learn through your PhD studies like intensive training program. Yeah, you have gone to training program before. You go outdoor 3 days, you achieve something. Yeah, or like weight reduction. You want to reduce your weight, you are on diet, and then you achieve something. Your PhD is like that also. You achieve something. You feel like you have done something that no others can do, because PhD, not everyone can do PhD. Actually, not everyone. Those tough one, then be very consistent. We call it istiqamah. You have to very istiqamah in your work. Next. From the beginning, get yourself into the discipline of writing a monthly summary of experiments. Don't wait. Yeah. If you are in the format of writing papers to be your chapters of your thesis, habit of writing. Yeah, perform the result and conclusion. However small the experiment is, make a conclusion of your experiment. Then you link all together the experiment to become one big table, one big figure. Then you feel the structure of the framework of your manuscript. You feel the flesh with your experiment. You build a skeletal framework, put in the flesh. Yeah, put the flesh in the hand, in the limbs, in the head, in the torso area. Then it becomes a full manuscript. Don't expect a skeletal framework and then in 1 week you fill up the flesh. It's not so magical. Yeah? You have to work on it. Perform, result, conclusion, include all lab book references, data, images. That's why I said you have to have a very nice lab notebook. Even your supervisor doesn't remind you to have a lab notebook, you have to have your own. Put every notes in your notebook, what you did, take, and then you repeat the experiment on the diagrams that you can understand. Therefore, you will become a good habit. Yeah? During my PhD study, I have 3 notebooks. I fill up everything. And even now, if I do experiment, I go and flip the pages and, oh, I found something wrong with your experiment. This is what I experienced before. So this will be your archive of your work throughout your life. If you are willing, if your intention is to become academia, your work, your PhD is very important. It's not relevant of your academic career. And then make a story of your research. Yeah, a story, not a novel, but something people like a scientific paper. So this is crucial that my supervisor, actually, when I was independent, he asked me to do this. And at first I feel that it's not important, but actually becomes a habit that you write something. Because we as a Malaysian, we don't really care about this. Therefore, no, it's all in my brains. Our brain capacity is limited. You cannot recall so many things. Therefore, writing is very important to recall back what you have done on the previous day or previous week or even previous months. Next. Write your thesis as you go along. Yeah. Your literature review you can already write. Why you wait? Yeah. You are just not telling a knowledge. You are developing the knowledge. Yeah. Write down what you learn. Write 400 words a day. Yeah. Sit down, find a time, and write. Yeah. And then you stitch together all the word that you write. You stitch together, and make any sense. Yeah. And then you become wonderful to read even to yourself. Huh? Don't leave writing to the very end. This is the biggest mistake ever people made, because they say, it's okay, I don't write. So, and then when the day you want to write, you become lost in the jungle of experiment, in the jungle of confusion. You confuse yourself which one to start first. Whereas when you start to write from the beginning, then you just rearrange your thoughts based on your writing, your own writing. Okay, next. Making and sustaining supervisor contact and supervisory support is essential, especially when nearing the end. Okay, do not shy away from your supervisor. Even your supervisor is very busy, going overseas, teaching, research, meetings. There are times that he can make time for you. I don't believe supervisor will be so harsh that I'm busy, because sometimes you are not very clever to approach him during the time of he is so stressful with so many meetings, so many things that he has to do to reach his KPI. Because being a supervisor, they are also want to go to associate professor, want to go to become professor. Yeah. And then the dean and TNC also yelling at them, hey, what have you performed? What have you done? So you approach during the wrong time, you will get the bullets, yeah, in your head. So know the psychology of your supervisor. You study him or her. When's the time when she wears a smile? This is the place where I can, yeah. Wearing a smile is very rare among the supervisor. Wearing a smile for the students, very rare. When the moment she or he smile, go. Okay. So this is observation. You have to be very clever. That's why I say work smart. Study the psychology of your supervisor so that you can he is approachable to talk about your research. Don't give up. One time he said, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Come next time." So you keep on finding the good time to see and discuss with whatever problem you have. Sometimes you order some chemical doesn't arrive, and then some lab stuff doesn't do the work that they're supposed to do. The lab is not clean. So these are materials, some accessories that normally people face when you are a graduate student. So find your niche, with difficulty, and then you have to be tenacious in getting what you want. Yeah, tenacious. You don't step on other people's toe. Yeah, you don't go about in order to get what you want to do. You step on the people's toe. That's wrong. Also, people will hate you. People will work with you. People will despise you. Then you have enough. Then you go back and you feel sorry for yourself. Yeah. So this is the thing that you have to learn as a human, how you want to relate to human. How you want to relate to people. How you want to relate. So, and then of course I advise you always pray to God, sembahyang, solat, so that people make easy for you. Doa, yeah, tawakal. You have done all your best, then tawakal. You have to Sometimes if the going gets so tough, pray to God. Allah will help you, inshallah. Like when my second year, I wrote a paper, my supervisor threw it in the dustbin. Yeah, throw my whole paper into the trash. You know, and then I feel like wall is in front of me. I say, oh, I cannot finish. You feel like this, because we are humans. But then when you go and pray and seek guidance and help from Almighty, then Almighty will find a way for you to distress yourself. So don't forget that. Yeah, don't become like a robot. Yeah, we are human. Okay, next. Don't wait until you have the perfect figures or till you have a shame of the quality of your work. Sometimes you are too, we call it perfectionist. Huh? If you are a perfectionist before, don't bring it to your PhD work. Yeah? Don't bring your perfectionist behavior into your work, because you will see that, oh, this is not perfect. I cannot see the supervisor yet. This is not perfect, not perfect. Until when? Until 3 years, then it's not perfect? This is not going to work. You need to make progress, and you need to have a feedback of your supervisors to do so. Yeah. So know your supervisors, your co-supervisory committee well. Sometimes the reason why supervisory committee is being appointed, because some of the knowledge you need the knowledge from them, because you need a guidance. So if you treat them like oh, okay, it's not helping me at all, because you are not helping yourself, ask them what are they doing. Yeah, supervisory committee is not just like a statue there and waiting. He or she sometimes don't even know until you go and see themselves. There's so many. So co-supervisory commitment he or she has within the university. So you go and make contact with the co-supervisor, so that you anything that your supervisor cannot help, your co-supervisor can help. Next. At the end of your PhD, you should be the expert on your topic and not your professor, because the extension of the, PhD breeds PhD. Huh? PhD, your supervisor has PhD, they breeds another PhD, but it's different kind of PhD. You are now the expert. Huh? The supervisor will congratulate you because the things that he has done before is something that is not able, or because the new technology coming in, new knowledge coming in, and you are now the expert. So be confident when you talk in the conference at the end of your PhD. You feel like nobody else can challenge whatever result I have. If they want to challenge, they should verify it. They should come forward and contest the knowledge. But you feel confident by treating yourself now. I am the expert now. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of experiment. And when you talk, you feel confident. If you see that I'm not an expert, the first word you say, I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in this area, you are now killing yourself. Yeah. Don't ever start your sentence in your presentation. I'm sorry, there are so many experts in front of me. I'm not so professional. Why are you saying that? Yeah, you don't need to say that at all. Yeah, you avoid this negative connotation that because the fact that you see a lot of important people, VIP people, professors, in front of you, that doesn't mean that you are less expert than them. Your study, you are the expert. So this is the motivation I want to give it to you, so that when you go back to write your paper, then you feel confident you want to graduate on time. Okay, next. If you deliver intermediate result or a draft or a paper, you have the chance of getting feedback soon and correct your direction if needed. So that's why I said, when you constantly write your paper for the whatever chapter you are talking about, chapter 2, chapter 3, get them feedback right away, so that you don't have to spend 90% of your time doing something that is not even what we call it, direction is not correct. Because the writing paper, writing journal is different than writing thesis. Yeah, thesis you can have your own time, but paper you have to give to the chief editor. Editor will distribute to the reviewers and take time. Yeah. So next. Okay, group study. It's very important because I'm very fortunate. I was studying in Japan. The supervisor arranged every week we meet. Every Friday we meet, all the graduate students, and we tell them the progress. You have to give at least 5 minutes talks of your progress for that week, for the whole week. Yeah. The next week again, if you don't have any progress, then supervisor say, what have you been doing the past week? You know, so therefore it motivate you to do something new. And even if you don't have your experiment take 2 weeks, but next week is the same thing, you say, oh, I have studied this paper is very interesting, I would like to share with the group. So this is something new. Yeah. But this is not a practice among many supervisors in Malaysia. Group study, sometimes they make once a month, sometimes they make once in 6 months, or no at all. So I advise the supervisors out there, please arrange some time with the students, like 2 or 1 hour per week, to see the progress of your students. And then by that time, the student will also feel happy to share with their colleagues and share with you. So I think this is a good system. When I was a visiting scientist also in Stockholm University, they also practice the same thing. In US, they are liberal. Some supervisors don't even care about weekly meeting. But in Japan, this is almost like a etched in the stone. You know, every lab I go, they have this kind of system, which I think very useful. That make me actually I graduate on time instead of I graduate 3 years. I more than 2 plus. I graduate with my PhD because the system is very well. Make myself a very disciplined graduate student during that time. You know, next. Grow your online presence. Sometimes, in order for you to get feedback from all over the world right now, there are many. Even the first paper you should be captured by Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Scopus, Mendeley, LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, Zoom, etc. Yeah, as a student, as an academia, because you are now in the academia as a graduate student, you can make yourself be seen in the online because during when people read your paper, you get feedback. Yeah. Or you can go and write email to them and get personal advice. You know, you grow. Yeah, you grow yourself into a very good, healthy, scientific body of knowledge or publications later. Okay, next. Immerse yourself in academic culture and get talking about your research at conferences and research. Don't be what we call it shy to say what you have done in your research in conferences and symposium. Yeah, and get busy and know who are the speakers, who are the keynote speakers. Yeah, and try to eat lunch and dinner with them. You know, and give them ample praise to them. Oh, I like your paper. I've been using your paper, and try to make him happy that you read his paper. During conferences, when you sit in the same table, then you will be caught great attention by a very famous scientist that you've been reading their papers, for example. Yeah? By email, maybe he has thousands of email, but when you are in the conference, you are sitting in the same table, you are going in the coffee break together, snatch this opportunity. Say that first word, oh, I like your paper. I read all your paper, something like this. And then he will turn around and say, oh, someone is reading my paper. You know, you feel very happy as a human. Don't go to conference because you want to go shopping. You want to go shopping, you want to break away from the daily routine, lab, work every day, and then, oh, this conference, this is good time, I can see Penang. You know, I like Penang food. So After keynote speaker, you lost yourself in Penang. Then afternoon you come back. This is waste of time, waste of effort. So please, change your intention to go to conference because you want to increase your knowledge and see somebody, see someone that you have been reading the paper and you like the paper and input from to your work. Next. Get results and present them in the conference. Ask your boss to pay for the trip or apply for a traveling stipend for students. Find collaborators and get them to invite you to visit their lab. Visiting other people's lab, you will meet different students, different way of doing things, and to be efficient. Yeah. So during conferences, I tell you, don't go to sleep like this picture. People feel boring, but pay attention and pick the paper that you really relevant to you. There are hundreds of papers to choose from, hundreds of parallel sessions. Choose the one that you like, that relevant to you, So don't go to all sessions that it doesn't make any sense for you to follow. So please use this platform for you to increase your academic write-up towards your writing thesis. Next. Say hello, stick around after the keynote, and you can meet amazing people attending official events, make the entire event possible, have a question ready. Before to go to conference, you already have your questions in your head, in the writing, and then give it to the people whom you know are experts in the area. So therefore, you should choose what kind of conference you want to go. You cannot afford to go all the conferences, in your area. Next. Publish in a peer-reviewed journal. You don't publish in a very, what we call it, unknown journal. Peer review means your peers, your field of interest, your discipline are the one who review your paper. Yeah. So you should discuss with your supervisor which journal to choose. Yeah. So you must publish in the rising journal, in journal that are very popular. Their impact factor is not so high, but not so low. They are rising. They want paper. So choosing this journal also, I have been given a talk before. I have series of slides how to publish, but then not in this graduation on time issue, because there are other things that we want to talk about. So, but in summary, I said you should write in a well-known journal, not the local journal. Sometimes like Science Malaysiana is also okay because the impact factor is getting. This is called a rising journal. So, but then this is one because this is not one and only journal, but you can choose overseas journal as well. If you don't publish in a rising journal, sometime just one time you write and nobody cite your work, then it's a disaster for you. Yeah, you should make sure that people, a lot of readership, people can refer to you, and your later if you are academia, you want to increase your H index or your citations. So this is win-win situation. But then again, if you want to publish in a peer-reviewed journal, you have to have a good manuscript. Yeah. So it's a cycle. The vicious cycle is there. So how to get a good manuscript? You have to start from the beginning. You have to the one that we talked about earlier. Okay. Next. Choose software that syncs your data. Sometimes, in the beginning, you should make a database of what you read or what you summarize. There are many now available like EndNote and all this database program that you should be familiar with. And then you should also put your data in the cloud or hard disk, because I saw many students, their laptop is stolen, your data is gone, all your precious work is gone because of the loss of the laptop in the car being stolen by people. But if you put it in the cloud, therefore the data is not lost. Okay, next. while doing PhD, don't get a full-time job. Okay, this is also a killer in your graduation time. You work part-time, then sometimes you haven't finished your master's PhD. Your employer says, okay, come back and work and start teaching, start doing your work, and this is going to be a big problem. Yeah, don't even because you are lack of money, you work as a part-time somewhere else, then I would advise that you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't take another job. Finish your PhD. Don't start a new job. Don't do things that are not relevant to your work. You focus. Focus. Next. So we have a few more. Get a life. Yeah, do get a life. It's not all hard work and heartache. Smell the flowers as you go along, enjoy the people around you, and make sure you have some fun. Yeah, so don't be too serious. Sometimes even you do wear a smile on your face. You don't take a shower for a week, and your clothing. You have to present yourself. Like a professional. Yeah. Then you feel good about yourself. Don't let things get carried away. Sometimes you just say, oh, the world is so separated from me now. I'm a PhD student. I don't want to talk to anybody. So this is unreal. This is unreal. You should get away from these feelings. Then you will be okay. Next. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. Yeah. So put it in your brain, okay? I want to graduate on time. And then believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, yeah? Then if you don't, actually you will find 1,001 excuses. Say that, oh, I have a family to feed, I have work to do, I have to go to the cinema, I have to go to the mall, my friend asked me to join the reunion, all these things, and the WhatsApp things, and you are addicted to the handphone, you're addicted to your Twitter, and you are finished. You are finished. Okay, next. Student-supervisor relationship, I touched it before, so I will just skim through. You have to have an open communication. Yeah, don't shut down. You don't feel grudge in your heart here. He's useless. So everything you say is correct, and your supervisor is wrong. If you find a fight with the supervisor, you are finished your PhD study. Yeah, let alone graduation on time. You finish your study. Don't pick up quarrel with your supervisor. If you want to pick up quarrel, first week you quarrel. If it doesn't work your way, change supervisor. Yeah? Change supervisor. Maybe this supervisor is not correct for you, then before it's too late, you change. Because it's your right. Changing supervisor is your right. Sometimes it's just, the supervisor coming from the sky and landed to you. Because some university, they will say, okay, one graduate student coming, hey, can you take this student? Because I'm familiar, I'm all in this situation before. So this student landed on your the supervisor's lap sometime. It's just like, because I'm a supervisor, then I supervise. So this is not serious. So therefore, you have to be very careful knowing what you want. You have to exercise your rights sometime. Next. So as a conclusion, right on time. So good that I also discipline myself to be on time. I don't want to take your time and give some issues to some of the listeners out there. So in a short note, I say plan your work and work your plan. I cannot say stress any more important like that. And also work hard and work smart. Yeah. I would say work smart first and then work hard. Yeah. Publish or there will be no GOT. For sure. In these days and age, you don't publish your work, people don't believe what you are saying, what you are doing. So you should have the time to think about, all your work worthwhile and share with others. And sharing is only by publication nowadays. People read your work. And then time management, like I said before, is very crucial in getting graduation on time. If you don't manage your time, you forget about GOT. Group meeting and discussion is very, very important. Even if your supervisor doesn't arrange this facility, this kind of work, you will take charge and say, hey, how about, if you have colleagues who are having PhD study in your faculty, like 7 or 8, then get together. You initiate it, group meeting, and you will find it very, very useful, so that you are part of the game, part of the challenge together. Yeah, it's nice to go the challenge in a teamwork rather than alone, because then your burden will feel released. Although you have a burden, but it's now less. Okay, then I think that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for your attention and inviting me to share. Most of the thing I said is I gone through by myself, so I can explain. But some other supervisors may have different views, different ideas about how to graduate on time. But I only based on what I have experienced. And for now, I have graduated more than 30 PhD students and hundreds of students a master's degree and hundreds in the undergraduate. So I think I have some authority to say that most of my students are graduation on time. Whether I'm very tough supervisor, I don't know. But some students say I'm very tough. But a lot of them say thanks to me that I have been very concerned about whether they are, studying or not. So with that, I end 2 minutes before the time. So I think that I saw in the screen some people encouraging me and have some questions. And this is Team Destin. I don't know where it's from. I'm a new PhD student. My supervisor. So I give back to Dr. Lilis first before I take the questions. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Prof, for observing your time. Excellent. Without further ado, I would like to I pick up 3 questions from the audience. If you please, I would like to start with regard to GOT itself. I would like to start with Tim Destin here. He has a problem. He says that he's a new student, Prof, and the supervisor doesn't reply his email, and he doesn't know how any other way to contact the supervisor after registering for almost a month already. So maybe Prof can actually elaborate further on your comment just now on finding the right moment for engaging with your supervisor. That will be the first one, Prof.
Okay. So this is tricky. I don't have the magic answer to this because by writing email is like a remote way of try to communicate with somebody. So I would suggest that you go and try to find a window of time to see him personally, in person. Yeah. Don't just write email, because like I said, advisors have thousands of emails from overseas, from local, from domestic regarding his work. So maybe your email has gone to spam. We don't know. Sometimes it's very difficult when the mail got into spam, pick up by the supervisor. So you must make an effort to go and see the supervisor in person and say what you want to say. And then if the supervisor is going for a meeting, wait by the door of the meeting. Prof, I would like to see you for a moment. And if he's human, he would respond to your. When you go for a meeting, you go out and go have a drink, say, my supervisor is in the meeting. But if you have an extra 10% more effort, wait by the door of the meeting. The moment he gets out, catch him. Yeah. So many of my students catch me this way. So I feel berat, berat di hati not to layan. Berat di hati. You feel like, oh, this student needs some my help, you know. So ehsan, they call it ehsan. Yeah, all of us has ehsan. You know, you feel like you see the cat so hungry at the roadside, then you feel like you want to feed this cat. This is called ihsan. Yeah, you feel belas kasihan. You feel belas kasihan. So don't give up. Don't, after a week, it's not bad. After a month, it's not bad still. But if you just write any email, sorry, you won't get what you want. Okay, next.
Okay, second would be coming from Easter Hoi Chi Mei. What about supervisors who still insist that their name needs to be the first author, Prof? What could you do?
Okay. So
because she's experiencing this with her friend.
Okay. So you have to talk to the dean, you have to talk to the deputy dean regarding this issue, because maybe the whole, because many of the supervisors out there feel like, you know, the ownership of the paper is of him, but little did he or she understand that actually the corresponding author is the owner of the paper. Make him understand, you know, because corresponding author, in many universities, they want to calculate the KPI of that supervisor. They are now counting the corresponding author, not the first author. Yeah, that's one thing. And then universally, people are doing this kind of ethics throughout the world. Show some of the very big paper. The first student is the first author. You know, the student, PhD student is the first author. It doesn't, the weightage of the paper is on the corresponding author, not first author. Please remember that. Yeah, like me, I was a student of Japan. When I do my PhD, all the 3 papers in the ESNT, very high impact factor, is my name. But my supervisor is way down, number 7 or 8 sometimes, because he's the corresponding author. Then when people outside read, oh, this is research group, his research group, you know. So people give weightage to the corresponding author. During that time, I feel like my dream to get the corresponding author. When I establish my own lab, get my research funding, all my students are first author. So please make him understand. If he doesn't understand, then give some data from other universities, from other practices, you know. Then if still he or she insisted first author, then I don't know. I cannot help you. This is the mutual understanding in universities and practices of, in the university you are talking about. Next.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last question. Sorry to the audience. I will try to send you the answers for your question. But the last question, Prof, will be from Ammar Wisam. So what about submitting your thesis early and how to know when you are ready to submit? I think that's an important question.
Okay. First of all, why you want to submit your thesis early? Is it ready? Is it not by now you feel it ready? If it's ready, then actually you have to have a meeting with your supervisor and the supervisory committee, give them presentation, and if still they insist that, oh, it's not enough information, then you also can argue with them that, oh, I have achieved all my objectives. 3 objectives I already done. Why you need to give me one more chapter? Sometimes the supervisor, because of the new knowledge developed, they say, oh, I want you to write another chapter, and this will be a killer for you. You have to come in strong to say that I have enough. I have achieved all my objectives. Like the first week when I do the proposal, I have done enough. If you can say that strongly and with evidence of your experimental design already done, then I think you are rightly so to submit your thesis early. So it depends on the understanding between you, supervisor, and also the supervisor at the graduate school. Sometimes the graduate school won't give you permission to graduate so early because immaturity of the subject you talk about. So I don't know how to answer comprehensively about your demands on as to reason why you want to submit early. But I think within the 3.5 years, if graduation on time, we don't have to hurry. Sometimes when you are not in a hurry, there are many things that you want to still write, or sometimes it's not achievable because the paper that you submitted is not yet being accepted. Yeah, acceptance of paper depending very much on that journal. If, for example, in my area, 3 months, 4 months, then you can get some news. But some journal 6 months. Yeah, 6 months to wait is a long time. But if the moment the chief editor say your paper is already on the way to publication, then you feel that you are already done with your work. So there are many issues. Even to your question, I cannot answer specifically the reason, but I think very rare student want to very rare achievement unless you already a top student, you attended conferences, 3 conferences, and you already published 3 papers. Then this is a sure sign that your thesis is already ready and can be submitted very earlier than expected. But it's very rare occasion. This is based on my experience. Okay.
I believe that, thank you, Prof. And I believe that, everybody would agree that Prof. Fauzi didn't let us down. There's a lot of valuable advice and good practices, not just for the the students, which the program is intended for, but also for the supervisors. And I can see myself as a supervisor, and I can see quite a number of my colleagues who are supervisors are also present, Prof, in this session. And I think the good practices as supervisors has been also shared with our colleagues here so that we can produce more GOTs, and it's good for the country as well. Yeah? Thank you, Prof. Fauzi, for a very good session. This program is actually brought to you by Perintis. I hope my screen is shared, and a little bit about the association. Perintis is actually an association, a registered NGO. Yeah, so it is a short of form of Persatuan Saintis Muslim. It's in Bahasa Melayu. Yeah, and the tagline is Science for Wellbeing of Creation. And the vision of the association is to be the platform that actually brings in a collaboration from professionals for science to bring blessings for all creation. So we welcome not just Muslims but non-Muslims. You can actually go to the website to look at the different membership that is suitable for you. And then the mission is to lead in the development of establishment and utilization of science for the well-being of man and the environment. Yeah. So the next program that I know of will be another program, I think next month, by Prof. Azman from UTM as well, on the value added of PhD. And I'm sure we have lined up quite a number of activities, and if you want to be noted of these activities, do become one of our members. I'm a live member, as well as I think Prof. Fauzi is also a live member with the Perintis. And then be subscribed to our Facebook. We will actually notify you via Facebook of the upcoming program. And to end this session, any one or two words, Prof, from your side before I formally close the session?
Okay, 1 minute. Let me find my page again. Say, what can I do here? Okay, can you guys hear me? still?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, my video is off, but I have read some of the comments that this
Yes.
insightful presentation. I thank you very much, because if you can send me email or WhatsApp me if you still have some unclear things. So I'm very grateful that it is useful for you. I'm not the best. There are many other talk or even PowerPoints in the Google that you can find. So so this is only a tips that I can give based on my personal experience handling students. Yeah, and then I would not be able to talk uh, in the student point of view had I not been a student myself. Yeah, I was a graduate student also, both in the United States and also in Japan. So I can say that what I experienced, I have changed supervisor once during my master's degree. So so I can talk in authority of some of the things tips I say to you. But hopefully this will be not the last one that is invite me, but I will again give
Definitely, definitely.
allotment of time for some other things like tips on publication. I have been publishing quite a bit. My current H index is about 37 in Google Scholar and 32 in Scopus. And citations, there are more than 5,000 in Scopus and more than 7,000, nearly 8,000 now in Google Scholar. So I can speak with a bit of authority on how to publish the peer review. So next time, next event, I'll be more than happy to share my experience because I touched quite a bit of on publication, although not in detail, because this is not the platform to discuss about publication, but actually how to work on time. So I feel happy to share with you. And you guys also should be hopefully be happy to listen to my tips on how, especially you guys who are now at war with your PhD or master. Like war means you are fighting like crazy to graduate. So I think this is quite useful. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, everyone out there.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I believe that a lot of us are on our yearly annual leave, but thank you very much. And Alhamdulillah, thank you, Prof. Fauzi from Printis. On behalf of Printis, thank you, Printis. I believe that Printis experts will be lined up for a lot of, sharing to come. And thank you for, all this live thing would not be possible if it's not because of the challenges that we're facing now. Stay safe, people. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Menyelesaikan studi tepat waktu pada program PhD khususnya di UMT. Demikian. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.